Hola a todos. Blue Swan 333.
The heart.
In the heart 333. Hello everyone. We are here working, but at the same time we're going to do this video. We've gotten through a lot of energies, updates, a lot of good things, a lot of harsh things. We got sick. He didn't.
A lot of spiritual work.
A lot of spiritual work.
Inside work. And, but not to be afraid, you know. It might look like, oh, you have to do the dark work and the shadow work, but you just have to do it. No big deal. But, you know, you gotta do the work.
We had an encounter with our inner child, particularly mine. It was quite shocking. I will talk that about in another time, but just I need you to know that your inner childs are very, very important. You need to reach out within yourself for your inner children, and you need to actually embrace them, love them. If you have had pain and suffering, we recommend that you reparent your inner child. That's what we want to talk to you about today.
Oh, man, no.
Reparenting your inner child is something that you can do with your twin flame. You can also do this, and this is also a therapy that is used between couples when there has been problems with attachment for one of the couples, or they have insecurities, shame, guilt. The majority of the families are dysfunctional. So when you are a twin flame in a journey, most likely one or two, most likely both of you, will come from dysfunctional families. And you will have to have these encounters with your inner children and with your shadows. So right now in November, it's a great month to do your shadow work. We follow several astrologers, but we follow particularly Mr. Dio Veselinov of Astroviber 1111, and he does a precise description of, we like very much. Thank you, Dio.
We've been with him for a while now, and we appreciate it, Dio. Everything you do. Appreciate it for everything you do.
And his reports are amazing. You should follow him. Very accurate. We can do an astro chart for you. We do verdict astrological charts, and but we don't do daily astrology. That's Dio Veselinov, Astroviber 1111, and we suggest that you do your remaining shadow work, because right now the energies are working for us to be able to do that. So that's what I have to say now. I'm gonna pass you over to my husband for a little bit. He's gonna talk a little bit now.
All right. So the most intense part, or the latest thing we have done, which was mostly Eva. I mean, I love you, are something else, baby. I'm honored to be your twin flame. You're amazing, brave. My goodness, she went down the rabbit hole and she found our child, and she did what she had to do. I did what I had to do, and together we pulled that one off. So now we're ready for the new season on Scorpio to face whatever channel we're gonna have to face. And I guess I'm gonna have to be the one facing some of that. But it was spectacular and always intense. And hope you guys are doing your work too. And these times are very, very important. As you can see, there's a lot of spiritual movement. And the time is like all the time. The clock is ticking.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm sure that when it comes down to that moment of truth, we always pull out. We always make it happen, even if it's just by the nick of time. God is helping us all the time. Jesus is always, with us, making sure we go through it. And so when we are in trouble and we can't figure it out or make it, or we get stuck, we ask for Jesus to help us. And
the Holy Spirit guides us.
The Holy Spirit, Holy Archangel Michael, and they come through. Yeah, a few times they have done, what we couldn't do. And we're like, oh my God, what are we gonna happen to us? And then, poof, we pray, and assistance comes right away. That's all I have to say for today. And here's Eva.
Well, guys, it was tough, like he said, very tough. Truthfully, I don't even understand how I could have gone through it. I went into a very dark place, almost like a dungeon, and I found my inner child there. Bright, golden, white light with the eyes closed. And it was very, 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 very heavy. I couldn't even bear to be able to touch my own inner child or embrace my own inner child of the purity and the creativity and the giving, the loving. We will do another video on that. It was very impressive. But I was able to hug my inner child, ask for forgiveness, because I felt guilty for having done what I have done during my life, putting myself in the situations that I have placed myself in with such a beautiful inner child. And it was from the beginning of time, from practically the moment of conception, that I was able to go back to. It was very tough. It was very harsh. So basically, I come, like I have explained to you guys before, from a narcissistic family, a mechanism of narcissistic family. And in this mechanic type is, which I'm going to talk a little bit in detail more, I wanted to explain to you that mainly when you have a situation that... Where are you going, my love? Sorry, give me 1 second. La mayoría de las personas, yo diría que más del 90% de la población humana, vienen de familias disfuncionales. Lo que pasa es que nosotros no sabemos que venimos de familias disfuncionales. La mayoría de las personas hispanas, lamento yo mucho tener que decirlo, pero muchas mamás y muchos papás son narcisistas y vienen de generación en generación. Entonces, la mecánica de la familia narcisista... I was talking in English. Right? And then I changed it to Spanish. I apologize for that. So I'm going to have to stop this video, cut it, and then start another video.
Wait, let's continue in English.
In English?
Yeah.
What I was trying to explain and what I was saying in Spanish is that the majority of the families on earth, as we stand right now, I would say over 90% of them are dysfunctional. And they have some type of dysfunction. We don't know that we are born into a dysfunctional family or into a narcissistic family mechanic. We don't know these things. We encounter this as we grow. We just, like in my family, for example, on every single Sunday, we used to have a special breakfast, which was pan con chicharrón, which was pork chops with a certain type of bread, and we would also put in there a fried sweet potato, and we put onions on top of that with some peppers and coffee with milk. That was a typical thing that we would have on Sundays. And that is like something that is within families. Like when you were born into your family, you actually acquire certain habits from your family in the way that you eat and in the way that you the time that you wake up, the time that you have dinner, and these things within your family happen to be your family values. And we don't know that our family values could be wrong. We don't know. We might have an idea, especially the super empath child or the hypersensitive child, might figure that there's something going on, but it's never questioned. So this is what we're going to talk today about is the module of the narcissistic family and the importance of looking within your system, whether you're a mother, whether you're a father, whether you're a grandma, or whether you're a grandpa. The whole family can actually be treated. There is a lot of people out there. I am not a therapist. I am a coach. I am a spiritual coach, and I am a twin flame. And we don't do this, but we can refer you to somebody that can help you. So we just want to share with you what we can give you material for shadow work like I've offered before, but for the narcissistic model, which is what we're going to speak about today, it's very important because this month we have special energies that can help a lot of people. Actually, there's energies that are favoring people so that they can just purge this out. And we can, we want to talk to you about this to see if maybe, just maybe, it resonates with you. And if it does, you can feel free to contact us. And we're just telling you a little bit about us and about what happened and the module of our families. Entonces, ¿tú qué opinas, mi amor?
Amor mío, it's in English or in Spanish?
In English.
Right? Okay. So, in my case, I have learned about this. It's never too late, but I wish I could have known this long time ago. But it happens when it needs to happen. So, I was raised in a home, with a lot of people, family members, and we were 11 people, 11 family members in one house when we moved all together. And I did have no clue. I didn't have a clue that I was being raised in a home that was totally dysfunctional, with narcissistic traits, with egotistical behavior, abusive behavior, and it was what was available, I guess, because as a child, you had to flash.
I do.
I don't know what is right or wrong. And that is, I'm talking about in the case of a normal, natural child.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
In my case,
of course. That's what I just mentioned. We don't know. We just think that it is what it is, and it is how it is, and we don't even question the functionality.
But when you are a empath child, top of that, which we're going to talk about it later or after, which are twin flames, and mostly probably everybody is an empath. But
right now, a lot of people are born. They're crystal children's, rainbow children's.
And for the ones that are
they're super empath, yes.
Right, but for the ones that were not raised, that were not empath, good for you, because you grew up mostly the whole humanity. If you grew up in a home that was any kind of old parents, sick family parents, as an empath you would go crazy, or develop all those defects of character, all those everything that people around you
post-traumatic stress.
Post-traumatic stress.
Child post-traumatic stress.
I mean, humanity have gone through a lot of crap. of disease to illness, and now we are making the changes and identifying the problem.
And it took a lot of work. It takes a lot of work.
It takes a lot of work. Yeah,
a lot of introspection.
Years of researching and questioning yourself and going through the path, the journey. And where you think you're cool, you're perfect, you're fine.
You gotta start over.
You have no issues. You actually wouldn't change you wouldn't change nothing about yourself because you grew up. That's how I felt when I grew up. I grew up in a wonderful family, where mom and dad were not available, and that's fine because no matter what, I had people that loved me around me, took care of me. I felt, I felt secure, and in my child mind or everything was a-okay, and actually better than okay, better than other kids. I did enjoy a lot of a good status in society because I went to a good school. I had the fortune to go to spend some weekends on a yacht and things like that. But in reality, when I examined my life, after I was told that, guess what, your life was not that good. So thanks to a lot of therapists and Eva mostly, and even Dio, of course Dio helped us through it. I had to confront the fact that actually my childhood was super, super sick. It was hard. It was hard to confront. Somehow, we kind of it's a mechanism of defense where you just don't take it.
We can pause. We can go back and continue.
Yeah, baby, it's hitting me hard right now. Okay, let's pause it.
Bueno, entonces continuamos. Estamos hablando we're talking about the modules of the narcissistic families. The narcissistic family dynamic runs through generations, and it comes from the grandparents, and the grandparents give it over to the children, and we don't really know if we belong to a narcissistic family until we realize there's things that happen in our families that shouldn't be happening, and there's this type of module, this dynamic, this family dynamic is very toxic and very painful and very unloving. Truthfully, it's very unloving. There's usually a golden child. There's usually a scapegoat, and the scapegoat usually is the black sheep. Sometimes the roles switch, meaning that sometimes one child can take it, and then later on that child can take on another role. And when you want to attempt to heal, the family itself ghosts you. The family itself denies you. It's a hypocritical family system, and it's very painful. It's very painful. And it is a family affair. And you acquire this during your early child years. And this in no way or shape or form is being aimed to accuse anyone in particular in my family of a narcissist, but this is my story, and I am a victim, as many as all of my entire family is, of a narcissistic dynamic. And the majority of the twin flames come here to break these patterns. They are born into these very highly toxic families. And this is what we're talking about today, the narcissistic family dynamic, how to identify it, and how it works, some traits, some tips, so that you can take a look at yours. So it's a generational family pattern, and as a general rule, like I was saying, the grandparents have it, one or both of the grandparents have it. They pass it down to the children. These children later become parents, uncles, aunts, and then they pass it on to their children. Then it's very, very harsh to have to say this, but we as parents ourselves, sometimes we make mistakes because we don't know. And I believe that it's time that the world awakens, and really, before having children, people should do an evaluation for their personality types to see if they have any type of personality disorders, if they're victims of a narcissistic family dynamic or any type of other toxic dynamic, which most of us on earth are. And this is changing now. And this is part of the work that we've been doing. And this is, we starting to see the change. We're starting to see people talk more about this. We believe that it's being even collectively worked on through the twin flame dynamic and other people as well. So thank you, my fellow twin flamers, for what you've done, and thank you, people out there, for bringing about all of this information, because it's very accessible. Many people can access it, and this is just our little piece of the story. So we're going to give you these tips and how to recognize the narcissistic family pattern or dynamic within your family as a twin flamer. Bueno, second part. So usually the narcissistic parents, they have two types of children. They have narcissistic children and empathic children. The empathic usually end up getting into a relationship with another narcissist, which is what happened to me. The children that are empathic usually have other type of problems, personality disorders, traumas, child post-traumatic stress, things that you need to look into, that we seriously recommend you to look into. Each one has their own particular role. So they play their role in the narcissistic family. So they can all be narcissistics, or there's always going to be an abusive narcissistic, the person that is going to, the main narcissistic, the one who controls the family dynamic, is usually going to be an aggressive one as well. This is the person. Then there's also going to be other roles within the system. There's going to be the enablers, and the enablers, they can also be a narcissist as well. They enable and they habilitate for the rest of the family, because they are accustomed to maintaining that family dynamic. There will also be other empaths in the family. These other empaths in the family, these empath, the remaining empath in the family dynamic, they don't have the courage to confront the narcissistic, controlling person in the family. So they just keep it quiet, keep to themselves, and it just followed through. Sometimes I did that as well. And lastly, in the narcissistic family dynamic, there will always be the scapegoat, the black sheep, the one that will always be marginalized, blamed for, ignored, devalued, you name it, the one that takes for everybody else. But primarily for the narcissistic person that is actually needs that, to put that blame on the scapegoat so that the attention can be taken away from the control issue that the narcissistic leader of the family dynamic has and can continue to abuse and work in this horrible family dynamic. So I'm going to now pass you over to my husband, and he's going to tell you a little bit about the most common conduct or form of conduct that the narcissistic families have.
Kurt. Bueno, para continuar con lo que estamos hablando del narcisismo en las familias latinas, que por desgracia no todo el mundo tiene. Oh God. Okay, so to continue with what we were saying about the common trait for the narcissistic families, which is one of the ones I grew up in a narcissistic family, and it's typical what they say after I read the profile of
Not always do they have all these traits. They can have some or they can have more, but these are the typical common traits.
Yeah. So how we recognize it when I remember my childhood, without the blindfold. I remember that there was always that thing about secrets, family secrets. Then there was always a person that took the blame, a person that took the enabler, the abuser, the second abuser, and sometimes some beyond that, which has to do with. So to continue, some of other things that you can also notice in the narcissistic family mechanics is that there was always somebody that if you're gonna tell the truth, they will the whole family will come down on them and tell them to shut up. It's like they push you out, so you don't say the truth about their problems. And the image of the family, they always want to show a false representation of the family. So instead of addressing the problems and working with them, they just shut them down. The family goes in denial, and nobody wants to accept it. If somebody wants to face it and work on it, the ones that want to continue to follow the same procedure and the same kind of narcissistic way, because to their blindness it's convenient for them, they will do whatever it takes to let the family secrets, the disease, illness of the family hidden. So another thing, there's always conflicts, always there's a conflict, and the main thing is not like together we can unite it, we can do it all together. No, it's divided. They divide you, they divide everybody, so nobody can put together a plan, an action to help the situation. So I don't know, we're gonna continue looking into these narcissistic family situations, dynamics in probably the next video, and
usually the scapegoat is the truth teller, babe. Eso es importantísimo que lo digas.
And another thing, always talking behind the back of everybody else. You know, there's no working in together. You know, teamwork. And it's like everybody wants to hide their dirty laundry, and instead of working it. And let's see, and that's it for now. Okay, we'll come back to it. Okay, so to continue about the narcissistic families, the other thing that is very common and happens very often is the envy between brothers and sisters. You know, they want to have what the other one have. So if one of them is successful, they try to take away their success or whatever they gain and always put them under their control. And they like to take pride on the accomplishments of others in the family. Now, usually the one that has the biggest problem and is like the more narcissistic of all is the one that's always trying to control the dynamic in the family, and usually the one that has a lot more to hide than anyone else. And also, instead of helping each other, they like to point fingers at others. Like, look, I'm better than him because he does that. So I tell they like to gossip. They like gossip, and they gossip about the other ones that I probably haven't done not even the half as of the bad things that the one accusing it have done. And but you know, huh. I think for now this is all I can cover about this, and we will see. Maybe we'll continue because this is where we are at right now, working with a narcissistic family, and the remedies will come around. You know, where to find the help and your material to read. You know, and but the diagnostic of if you are or if you have grown in a narcissistic family is very easy if you have what it takes as you become honest with yourself and change your perspective on how you thought you were being grown up or raised, and you know, see that maybe what you thought it was a good family, it was part of the cover up. So you didn't know about the real problems, and so everything is just a false. Man, the more I talk about it, it's like, what have we done on Earth? It comes from way back, but now we're solving it, fixing it. And how do we fix it? By addressing the problem. So get naked, honest, and remember, if maybe there was somebody that you know was not acting out, not not saying that you need to look at what you did, but we try to remember the things that the people around you in the family did, and if you have any of those traits, if you're struggling with any defects of character or problems, with your personality, or if you're just feeling that something is wrong with you, write it down. Start with the names of your uncles, your mother, your grandpa, the cousins. Well, the kids are all messed up by the adults. So most likely, instead of working on the kids, you need to work on the adults and then work on the kids. after you have found the problem, because you can't find a solution if you don't have addressed a problem, and that's the difficult part, to diagnose the problem. All right. So hopefully this video it will help you, and another stone unturned that has been turned. So 333 Blue Sun, 3 flames.